I'm gonna ask the guys first. We'll talk about it a little bit. Then I'm gonna read the comments from the community post that I made where I asked you guys if Jahad will be the final antagonist. I kind of skimmed through a little bit of stuff. Some interesting names popped up there. I would say because I didn't expect to see certain names, but what would you guys say in your in your head canon? Never like if you had to kind of pinpoint a final antagonist, even if you don't know who it is per se. Do you think it'll be Jahad?
Yeah, I think it'll be Job.
Okay.
A little something like Eenie, Meanie, right from the beginning. Smoke a little pack, but the pack never timid. Church, but I'm seeing it. Curse when I'm winning. She need a new back. When it's back, I'ma bend it. Slap up some guinea, pass me the henny. Watch a nigga black slipper yak, I'ma quit it. Swerve in the Benzie, perfume is Fendi. Bob and move fast, real fast like I'm Ricky. That's 'cause I'm pretty, came from the dirt. Shovel up a nigga, can't handle the work. Ooh, y'all, swing with it first. Young white girl like a rebel.
I mean, cause like every other name that was listed, I could see them not getting out of the paint, but being solved before we get our final last level Earth destruction floating platform one-on-one fight with Jahad, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There is a there is the slight possibility that the final boss might be the unknown that lays beyond floor 100 or whatever the fuck. I long forgot the exact number by now.
Say that again.
Like
But
136, 137, something like that.
I was gonna say 137.
134.
But
Wait, you mean he locked off? I think 134 is the last floor.
yeah,
Oh, okay,
so
okay. Something like that.
but I really don't think SIU's body will freaking hold up for all that.
That's
Because honestly,
fair.
if we was to go beyond what Jahad has conquered, aka his empire, that could literally be its own series. That could literally be a Tower of God too, right? So I don't know if SIU built for that. So my vote goes to Jahad.
Okay.
I'll speak because I won't be here that long. I was just up. And I need to get
Change
something.
it to next
But
Mm.
so what I will say is I definitely agree with Simi. Like that, there's two factors that go into it. One is build up, and I know he was like I think I was listening to y'all stream earlier today, and y'all would talk about they were talking about how it's too ambitious ahead of time, trying to build this entire universe. Like Simi said, that nigga not built for that. Whoever said in that stream earlier, like he falling apart doing one series, how he supposed to do fucking like three others past this point, and we even in the halfway mark of COG, which you could assume, I guess, power scale be damned. It's like, how the fuck you plan on throwing the length like this, bro, when you can't even manage to handle what you got on your plate? It's like you trying to go get extras and you can't even finish what you started alone. So it's like, and on top of that, is are you built up Jahad to beat that guy? Like, yeah, there's more to the tower, or maybe there's more outside of that, but Bam, Destiny, Child of Fate, Jahad, it's all tied together in this aspect and in this thing. So it's like you build up the six great families to be the everybody in the crew was like, okay, you got Kun, Yiwa, and like other folks supposed to be tied to the fucking and the ancients, like all of them tied to them being like a last boss for other people, so to speak, like Rand and Machine and them. So it's like, why would you go? What is there really to be beyond this point? You know what I'm saying? As for like how the characters all tied together, like what would be Wagner's point if he lived, but Soy is past the point of like he's Jahad's son in the Karak and like what's the point going past beyond that? If this is what we started with, and you've been building up for God knows how long, how many chapters.
All right, Vince.
It was just feel
So
like
I'm gonna go against the grain,
okay.
and I'm gonna fucking say either Heat-On or fucking Arlene.
Okay, that's what some of the comments have said. If you're just asking me, I mean, I'll I kind of want to go through the comments and then kind of come to my conclusion. But if you ask me, you put a gun to my head and you said, what's the final obstacle? It's Rachel in my mind. I think it's Rachel. That doesn't necessarily mean it's from a power standpoint, but maybe she tries some final emotional appeal or something. I don't know what it is. Maybe she takes Arlene hostage. I don't know, dude, but I feel like it's Rachel in my mind. My mind, I think final Tower of God obstacle. I think Rachel.
Oh, okay. But in my head canon, I feel like they get to like the little final confrontations, and Rachel, like this is how I've always seen it, right? They would get to the little final confrontations. They get to like the top. Rachel would think she sees the stars or some shit, and they'd be like, "Nah, that shit not real." And Jahad would just shoot her ass down or some shit like that, fall off the top or some shit like that. That's how I've always seen it in my head. I was just like, she get to the top. She thought she finally achieved her dream. and then they just shoot her off. And they'd be like, "No, you failed. Like you didn't accomplish
This is
anything."
Sparta! Just fucking Spartan kick her off the tower.
I mean,
Hey,
I just
let's
kind of
go.
expected, yeah, I just kind of expect them to like look at her and be like, "You did all this for nothing. Like you didn't get to accomplish it anyway."
Like make everything she did feel like that'd be dope if you make everything she did feel useful. All right, let's get to these comments. Actually, did anything else you wanted to say on that, or did get to reading?
We good. You get to read it.
I know I said we. I have to read.
I mean, I can't. I would read it, but I
No,
can't
no,
see it
no,
in
no.
real time.
Nah, no, no, it's fine, it's fine. Oh, you know what I'll do next time? I forgot to do this time. I'm definitely gonna I don't need that one in there. I'm gonna do it. What you gonna call it? I'll put it in Discord, right? So that way you can see it real time. Isn't that what you guys usually do?
Yeah.
I'll do it next time. I'll just remind me. I'm not doing it now.
Yeah, I don't know if that will take like double the bandwidth. Though.
That's what
Like,
I was. Yeah, I don't know. So I need to test that. You know, that's what I'm saying. I gotta test that out first. But all right, what happened to Emily? Ooh, she's still alive. I feel like they may have name dropped her once in the beginning of season 3, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
The
I
traveler
feel like
and stuff.
I will touch on that on my Twitter at some point since I'm rereading.
But all right,
Was what I think it was with endorsing, you know?
yeah, they were beating Traveler, but I don't remember. I don't know, but we'll get to that. That's not important right now. All right, let's start with the first comment. Says, "It will be someone else. Remember, sealed off the door to hire for some reason. Is that reason though necessarily because the person is stronger than him? You know what I'm saying? Like I get the rationale behind that." Because even the blog post I think was saying that like the whatever administrator is hostile, but that I don't know if that equates to Jahad is scared and can't climb. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Cause that has nothing to do with fucking Bam Tachi, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like and of course we've seen other stories where the main character has reached their end goal, but the series kept going. But as I said prior, SIU not built for that, so I'd rather him not do that.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else want to chime in?
It's like I said before, like what can you really like? Okay, how far is this final boss go? And like I said, like what if the case is that isn't that Jahad sees something that scared him? It's just that there's nothing that adds up past this. There's nothing that he can just do to surmount that.
I also think to myself often, how many floors are actually in the tower? Like, I think sometimes the rationale that I see in my communities, it almost feel like he locked off the last floor, and I'm like, we don't know that though. There could be hella floors left. You know what I'm saying? Like, who knows what's on them? So, yeah, I don't know. Letting this play. Good night, y'all. I appreciate that, bar. All right, Ice Lane said, Arlene, I took the feeling. I don't know why. You're gonna see that name a lot more often, but I'll wait for somebody who actually like states their reasoning, I guess. And then we can kind of dive into that a bit more. I want to say yes. Remember, my question is Jahad the final boss? I want to say yes, but don't think so. Thinking on it more, where do we go post Jahad? A whole administrator or a bloody axe? Oof. Axis would be crazy because we stand no chance unless you're an Axis too. Seems too much in my opinion, so I'll settle for yes. Zahard is the main antagonist. I respect that. I feel like I did say someone I was scrolling through it, kind of say in passing. I feel like y'all are overthinking it. It's gonna be Jahad, like like one of those ones where you could overthink yourself into thinking it's not Obito when it's obviously Obito. One of those ones. So.
Remember, yeah, I definitely did that back in the day.
I said it was a brother. What was my brother's name? Izuma or something? Izuku? I can't remember his name. Something like that. I might be completely butchering his name. But yeah, like one of those ones where the things seem so simple in nature, where you're like, wait a minute, it can't be that. It can't be anything else. So, well said.
And to add, he already has a record of like backtracking within some stuff, so I wouldn't be surprised if like he's seen, because like I said, getting too ambitious. He had big goals, lofty goals, and then you get into it and it's like, all right, well, you know what? I can't really do what I said I imagine, so I'll just be content with the story Todd got to tell. So he could always take it back, like, you know what? It's not that much. Like you said, it could just be overthinking. He'd be like, all right, it's not that big of a deal. Like, it wasn't really nothing past 134. He just locked the tower up, and that's that.
Mm.
Because I mean, because when you think about it, who really be telling the story of what happened in the tower? Because only like 10, 15 niggas know what really lies beyond everything.
We'll see. We'll see. I don't think we'll get an Axis on screen in present time. Jahad is the biggest we'll get in terms of shield scale of influence, in my opinion. Hearing the mention of Axis gives me brain rot, bro. I agreed with a friend that even after Obito's face was revealed, even after the fact, like it's not him. It's a prank. uh, oh man. Well said. I agree with that. What you said for the most part, East. My guy right here, Catan. I think it's gonna be hate on for hate. I said hate on was another one I saw. Right? Hate on for some reason, but not as the antagonistic force. Hate on would probably be the final obstacle in the ascension of the last floor, judging Bam and Rachel to be worthy of completing the climb to ascend to a higher plane of possibility. I don't know. Okay, I think I understand the rationale behind that. So it's more so it's not like, aha, all this time it was me who wanted to climb. It's like, oh no, like, to really be worthy of this wish, here's like one final, like, big, big dick test. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, beat me type B, and maybe he's OD. Maybe he's an irregular that we don't know of. That's low-key an irregular. Like, what do you guys think about that?
I can see that.
Yeah, I like that Blue Truth. It's just we all that he's the most mysterious figure in the tower, and that he clearly has some type of ulterior motive, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't even know if he's actually just the first floor administrator or if he's literally like a manifestation of the tower's consciousness. But for some reason, I just can't see him doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's more so along the lines of, I've been bored for so long and this is pretty interesting type beat.
I could,
and not, I'm going to purposely oppose Bam because XYZ.
Yeah, I don't think he's a bad guy in that sense, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, Becky Phillips. Yeah, I gotta agree with the other comment that says Arlene. Ever since she was first brought up in the Floor of Death, it's given me bad vibes and a sense of unease whenever she's mentioned by, say, Rachel or Bam. Just got the feeling she'll be very bad news. And to add to this, I had an entire theory crafting session with one of my friends on Twitter. Be ready for another long statement and be aware. Even Dr. Bonehead took note of my theory and replied last night on Twitter. So, alright, so just hit to read more. So that tells me it's big, and my friend called me a genius, which is a compliment I really needed. Okay, so here it goes about the third wish Rachel has and why she dreaded and feared for the longest time. Bam, drew Viola Grace. She has always been afraid of the night. All I ask is please punctuate next time. This is the longest run-on sentence I have ever seen in the history of my life. But let's get through
Jesus Christ,
There's
boy.
not a comma.
Yeah,
there's not a period.
Not
Not a semicolon, my nigga. Oh my god. Okay, hold on. I gotta put on my automatic autocorrect. Choo-choo. Okay. Okay. Finance and genius. Compliment I really need. Okay, here it goes. My third wish, Rachel dreaded for a long time. Benji, when she first saw him enter the tower, you know she must have been thinking, Bam, you should have stayed in the cave and waited for me, I think. She is going to wish for Bam to leave the tower, thus sending him back to the cave, but the only difference is Bam isn't that zoned out kid that knew nothing, can climb out the cave like Rachel, thus leading him to Arlene, who is immortal. Mind you, he can meet her face to face, so he can determine whose side of the story is actually correct. He knows Garam didn't tell him everything, and neither has Rachel. Neither has Rachel. So he goes to the source of it all to see who was telling the truth. Garam or Rachel find what his true purpose in life is. Did Arlene really call him a monster? So we don't know if Rachel lies all the time. Meanwhile, inside the tower, seeing all this go down in front of their very, I guess, lives, not leaves. The rest of the team, Bam, example, Aguero, Rack, and Dorsey and Nakabitsu, Shibisu, Hackney, Elaine, Huarun, in complete and utter shock. Obviously, they're going to do something about this. We know Rek and Wolkike Sung, so that's where we go. We know of the Wolkike Sung get outside the tower where Bam is, thus leading to a Bam rescue arc, kind of like a Sasuke rescue arc. Okay, this is it started to make sense. Okay, okay, it makes rescue Naruto. While this is going to, we all see the differences between the outside and inside of the tower, culminating in Team Bam Wolhikes on getting out to Bam, meaning they meet Arlene Grace, come to their conclusion, and somehow return to the tower and seek revenge on Rachel. And Arlene will enter after the team, probably teaming up with Rachel and Gustang, and Jahad will probably be on our side. Revealed through revelation, since the boss slash captain knows Jahad wasn't always the way he is now, so Jahad could have possibly have an internal conflict inside himself, bringing him back to who he was before he became corrupted and transformed back to his roots as an adventurer, always looking for the next one. I remember at the end of the hidden data floor, next adventure to Bam. That looks to me like foreshadowing. I've also seen theories saying that Ghost is V. Oh God, no. No. I'm not doing this one. No. Oh wait, actually, you know what? No. I think of the V's in the crystal. S in the bravery. That. Oh, never mind. Okay. Hidden floor V. The type of person to off himself. It was mostly Arlene who tried to off because she snapped over Jahad being obsessed with her. Like, that could very well lead to someone having a mental breakdown, and V just left Arlene because he thought it's too, I can't save her and Violi at the same time. I gotta blah, blah. Okay, all right. Christ. Okay, so I'll start with this part. How do you guys all feel about that Jahad portion where, like, he actually regains his senses as an adventurer? Does that mean he travels with Bam and company? Because I don't like that at all. This is something like Calivan teaming. I'm not with that.
I'm gonna tell you right now. You're gonna have to freaking retell me what he said, because I have no idea what the fuck he said.
Yeah, I was finna say that. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm glad I wasn't the only one. I was like, you're gonna have to summarize what he said to me.
Now, so put it in freaking miracle and certainty weight in words. Put it in Simi and Vince words, please.
Okay, there's certain parts of this that I understand, right? So for what I could gather is, one of the things that they're saying, Becky's saying, is that there will basically be some type of Bam rescue arc where they learn what the differences between the outside and the inside of the tower is, and through Wolfsike Hung, they'll figure out how to get outside the tower, get Bam, and come back in there. And for whatever reason, I didn't necessarily get the rationale behind this. Rachel and Arlene will be on the same side, though.
Okay. So let me see. Wait, hold on. Let's see if I put this together.
Becky, if you see this later on and I got this wrong, just correct me. But go ahead.
Okay, so Rachel, third wish is to send Bam outside the tower.
Yes.
Then they said something about Bam not being the same as he used to be, so he gonna try to get out or something. But then the rest of the group is gonna go on a rescue mission on some Sasuke shit to go get him. Then, but to do that, they have to team up with Yuri and Urik's group, because their whole goal is to get outside the tower.
Correct.
And Rachel, because of her connection to Arlene, is because in the story she said at times that she's doing stuff for Arlene, and she had that one line where she was just like, "I'm the hero, not Bam, Arlene.
I'm afraid of the night." So you're talking about Bam possibly being some type of monster.
Okay, and then so her and Arlene gonna end up on the same side. And then Jahad somehow is connected to this because he has two sides to him inside one while he's sleeping. And he has the side that craves adventure and wants to go back up the tower. And there's another side that somehow got corrupted by the tower. And I don't know how that fits into that, but okay.
Anyone else want to chime in?
So what I'm getting, okay.
Well,
2 brains, 3 brains are better than 1.
Yeah.
So he was saying what they was trying to say was that so that Rachel's a compulsive liar, and that fucking like Rachel and Arlene will actually be the fucking antagonists, and then we're gonna go on a rescue arc to save Ben because they're gonna get put outside the tower.
And
How do
maybe.
I feel about that part?
Mhm.
Eh, kind of indifferent.
Okay.
I'm like, that's it's. I mean, I'm not really hyped for that. Not really. And then the whole Jahad face turn, I'm good off that. I am super duper good off that. Let him die corrupted. Let him stay corrupt.
That
This whole
is.
control fate thing, like let him keep that. We don't need to be on no freaking Togashi gimmick. Every single antagonist turn face. Like, nah, we good off that.
Okay. I got you.
I think the best thing I liked about the idea was how that being like an idea of how to incorporate Yuri and Yuri's group. But you know what kind of my problem is? You can't do that right now because Yuri's gone.
Hmm.
He got he in Jahad's clutches. So how he gonna turn face when he told Yuri to come over here? But that's one problem that I have that you can't do that right now.
Yeah.
Yuri's gone.
Yeah.
The other problem is how the fuck does Wagner fit into all this? If he is the second quote unquote protagonist, where does he fit in this? Are we just gonna him disappear for another
Yeah.
100 chapters or whatever?
I mean, Mikey just said we have Wagner for the whole uncorrupted Jihad gimmick. No need to have the genuine article do all that. And what's up, Chris? How you doing? And I see Vash in the chat. What's popping? Um, yeah, I don't. The reason why I'm pretty like I'm not at all upset because my best guess is English isn't your first language, so you did your best here. I try my best to understand. If I got anything wrong, let me know. But at the very least, I'm gonna assume there's punctuation where you from, so please punctuate. That's all I ask. That's a run-on paragraph. Hold on, Philip. Let me see what they said in the replies. Actually, give me a sec. Oh, I closed it. Some hints point that Arlene turned into a villain are that she willingly let her son in a hole for unknown time. The fact that she knows Rachel. I have a theory that Arlene, like Jahad, has precognition and she knew that Rachel would be the one to lead Baam into the tower. Arlene might be a villain that is portrayed as a terrible person who would willingly allow her son to suffer because that was his destiny and that was foretold. Or it might be a flawed character who says that she only did things like leaving Baam alone because she had no choice, that it was genuinely necessary. I definitely agree with all of these. Family had seem to have omnipresent vision as to fate. What happened? I think you're right. P.S. I know you didn't ask for essay length in the replies, but my mind just goes, please don't worry about the length. Just punctuate, please. I have a feeling it's not Jahad. Okay. Jahad not main villain entire story and someone else.
Elsewhere.
Arlene, the fact Rachel looks up to her gives me bad vibes. Actually, there was something in here that I forgot to touch on. Can I just see if I can find that real quick? I felt like it was something. I think it had something to do with Arlene being the one who actually snapped, not V, because it seemed like she took. How do we feel about that? Do you think maybe she's just mentally unstable? Arlene, somehow? You think that's a possibility? Like she's crazy?
No, I feel like something happened to cause her to snap. Not that she just naturally crazy.
Okay. And what? How do you feel about the idea that it's bad juju, bad vibes that Rachel looks up to Arlene? Like, you know, how good of a person could Arlene be if someone like Rachel aspires to be like her? I mean, I guess. Do you think there's any credence in that?
I mean, you can always be obsessed with somebody, and that person. I mean, you could the sessions are usually like inspired by different things. So like Rachel could take it to another level. Like you see how desperate she is. She isn't pretty. She has no luck. This that and other. Arlene was said to be beautiful and shit like that, or at least by Rachel. And we know who she was rolling with, and she was special her own way with like spells and shit. So Rachel could probably be so desperate trying to catch her, and she's doing shit that Arlene wouldn't approve of, or she always trying to make justification for herself. Like I'm so unlucky, I'm this, I'm that, other, to justify the shit she does instead of just owning up to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it could be more from like that angle that she's just trying to do what it takes to match up to the greatness that could be Arlene, considering all the 10 great bums and the niggas who roll with them were pretty special. But that's just my take.
Okay.
Yeah, freaking what he said. Bad people look up to good people all the time. right? So I perfectly understand where they're coming from with that because Rachel's a no good piece of shit.
Hmm.
So I perfectly understand like if a no good piece of shit is constantly freaking got their name in your mouth. You're like, why would a freaking no good piece of shit have your name in their mouth? I perfectly understand that, but as I said, bad people can like good people all the time. So I
Yeah,
get it and
they
I
could twist
understand.
they could twist it.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
get
that's
it
the thing
and I
about that.
understand where they're coming from, but I don't necessarily would you. I personally would not use that as a crutch to say that um Arlene is also a bad person.
Hmm.
I mean, the way I always kind of saw it, if Arlene's gonna be a bad person, she's been corrupted by her trauma of losing her husband, and now she's willing to do whatever it takes to get rid of Jahad, even if that means using her own son to make that happen. Because when I think about it, see, everybody talk about the Rachel connection. My thing is the connection to F.U.G itself, and them basically kind of being supposed to be a crime syndicate, an evil organization, and they have all these people who are criminals or willing to do messed up stuff to get what they want and get rid of the tower by anything necessary. Because if you just go and look the beginning of season 1 and season 2, what they're willing to put Bam through just so he can accomplish the goal, like
Hmm.
definitely, like when you have that level of hatred and stuff, you can twist a person into something nasty. So if she's gonna be bad, I think it's more because of that. She wants vengeance and she wants all of them gone by any means necessary. That's how I perceived it.
Fair. I have a theory that Jahad will be the final villain, but not in terms of combat. Bam has ties to similarities to Enryu, the man who can kill floor guardians. Even Jahad is supposedly weaker than the floor guardian. That's not true. Jahad can't kill one. That's the. I'll explain that in a second. So if Bam will reach Enryu's level, then Bam's final enemies that he has to surpass in terms of combat power will either be Haydon or one of the guardians who guard the upper floor that even Jahad is wary of. They did say that the next administrator or floor ruler or whatever is hostile. Bam defeats all the floor guardians and achieves their right to continue up the tower and reach the top. Jahad could still be a prominent villain because he might have a huge influence in the tower, and he can maybe even on a ideological level try to convince Bam not to continue further. Bam's final test will be not to fight the king, but rather to convince him that he is wrong, or simply ignore him and move on. Okay, on the stronger than weaker than a floor guardian thing. I don't want people to get them. I think people constantly kind of make. I don't know how you guys feel about this. This is all as I viewed it, right? Because Ryu kills something that's supposed to be kind of unkillable. Like I would say that each of the top three, I'm going to exclude Phantom Minim because he's obviously an Axis, right? They've all done something the others haven't done, right? Jahad became the king. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the first like explorers, whatever. They figured out Shinsu existed, and he became, the military might of the tower. Bada boom, bada bing, got his contract. He's immortal. Immortality to and people and inhabitants of the tower cannot harm him. Immortality to me can be a double edged sword because I don't think you being unable to die makes you unbeatable. I could beat your ass every time if you're just weaker than me. I mean, that wouldn't bother me. Like if I'm stronger than Jahad, I just beat his ass every once in a while for no fucking reason. You could seal him, you could tie him up, you could decapitate him and throw his body parts all across the tower. There's all kinds of ways to deal with people who are immortal. So I
And
never see immortality as the end all be all unbeatable. Enryu killed a guardian, and then Urek climbed the tower the fastest. They all have a feat that the other has not accomplished. So you can't really look at it in the sense of, oh, because Enryu did this, that means Jahad's weaker. No, but he did perform something that Jahad is incapable of doing. But that doesn't necessarily immediately make him more powerful. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
I was going to say, based off what you said about the immortality thing, is like what happened when Phantominium rolled up in the tower and smacked past Jahad. Like,
Ain't that
what?
not canon anymore?
Oh God, you're right. I forgot who we dealing with.
I don't remember. Is that true?
You know what?
I
God
know he's not.
knows.
I know he's not going to be in the story again. But I don't. That
I,
moment
I,
is
I,
that moment still happened as far as I remember. Yes, there are fates worse than death. Absolutely. Yes.
so is it canon or no? I don't know. So I don't know why I should keep speaking at that point.
Nah, go ahead. It's just I could have sworn that's not canon no more, but hey,
No, you could be right,
I'm
but
not ready.
I've never seen that officially properly stated. Like I've probably heard someone say that, but you know how people just go like, "Oh, Toriyama did it." I'm like, bro, oh, that's cap. Y'all just be saying
I'm
shit you heard on online and carry on with that. I gotta see proof.
I'm not. All right, so I'll put it like this. We know that he rolled up in the tower, did everything he did, and then like he left, but that he rolled in Jahad's castle. When the fuck does Jahad ever actually leave his castle? Like usually this nigga is sleeping and he give like orders. He never fucking leaves the castle. As far as we know, right?
Hmm.
He never leaves the castle. I was safe to assume that he was there in his crib or like chilling. But Phantom Man rolled in there, fucked everything up, and then like Phantom Man just dipped after said B. So it was like I won't say oh he had a fight and he definitely lost or he was shook or scared. I was just saying like I guess that kind of goes to the point. It's like wouldn't Jahad say if he could see Faye or do this that, and the other, wouldn't he try to step in? But Axis can't be beat, so he probably seen a power greater than him. Like, well, ain't shit I can really do about this.
Hmm. All right. Light prayer. No, one of the main themes of TOG is fighting fate, and it's Bam's written fate to kill Jahad. I really don't think Bam is just going to carry out the prophecy written for him and we're good. I really doubt Jahad locked the climb for no reason or just personal reasons. Real Jahad said that to the Data 1 that if Data Z knew who Bam really was, he'd regret helping him. And we know Zahard, supposedly the strongest godlike being in the tower, is scared of something. My theory is that Enryu will be the final villain of Enryu. Okay, hold on. I wasn't ready for that turn. I wasn't ready for that turn, bro. We turned left for Albuquerque, people. Hold on. Okay. Enryu will be the final villain of TOG. Unlike Fanta, SIU said Enryu would appear in the story, and we know he's the most powerful character aside from number one. I mean, he's ranked number one. I mean, I don't even disagree with this sentiment. I think Enryu is the strongest person not named Fanta. I just like the people to actually, still think about it logically. First of all, it's based on power, recognition, and influence. And just because Vince can hit 3-pointers and I can't, does not necessarily mean he's a better complete basketball player than I am. See what I'm saying? Real Zahard said that one's something. My theories, unlike Fanta, SE said it would appear in the story. Most powerful character, number one, that is probably not appearing over this end. When the most powerful character in the story is not the MC, I feel like it would have to be the final villain the MC will have to overcome. I don't agree with that. The thorn was something given to Bam against his will, not his true power. It's something driving him towards the fate of the Zahard Slayer. So I think at the end, Bam will choose not to kill Zahard to understand his reasons and rebel against his fate and fight Enryu. Plus, Enryu's Red Rain reminds a ton of Gilgamesh's Gate of Babylon attack, LMAO. So I keep picturing him as evil now. The end of that take felt personal. That's me.
Yes.
Okay.
Have we actually seen that attack in the story or just through
The
mobile
flashback.
games?
It was a flashback. The flashback when he first appears, you see him make Crimson Shinsu make it rain, basically 9,000 bangs, and he decimates all of Jahad's forces. You do get to see that part a little bit. The part that's strange to me is that I'm not seeing the connection where somehow Enryu being kind of prophetic in the sense that Bam is going to need the thorn that will cut the thorn of the king because of Art. Maybe he has a connection to Arlene that I know him and Arlene are connected in some way that we're not fully aware of, but I'm not sure where the part where it's like Enryu's actually the bad guy. Like where I don't know where he made that turn. You see what I'm saying? Like you're talking about.
Listen,
Go ahead.
my counterpoint is actually earlier than that. I don't even believe that Taro God is a story about fighting fate to begin with.
It was just one of the main themes. Is fighting
Is it?
fate, and Bam is.
I think that
and
depends
Bam's
on
written
who.
fate.
Yeah, I think it is. Personally,
I definitely think Bam is an MC that's a child of prophecy type MC. I don't know if I go as far as it's always. I mean, no, I probably think it's about fighting fate. That's in the first half. Yeah, I don't know. Like, you talk about Enryu here and says you're saying that you feel because he's the strongest person that the person will become the villain. I don't agree with that sentiment in the sense that there's tons of times where I feel like the strongest character in the show is a good guy. I don't know. That's just me. This felt personal, but I respect it. It's interesting. Enryu. Any other comments? Or are we good?
Oh, but yeah, I also agree with you that I'm not necessarily seeing the connection on how NU would actually be the top heel either. But again, it's not a bad Blue Truth. I just don't agree with it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's pretty interesting.
If the theme is fighting fate, Bam's done a shit job up until now. That boy's following the flow of fate. Scope. The fact that Jahad stopped climbing the lock passes to the high floor makes me feel there's something greater to overcome. Okay. I don't know why, but I keep thinking about Jahad turning kind of good. And no, what's wrong? Stop! I never even had this idea in my head until until that one adventure comment. I'm so upset now.
I don't see how he turns good though.
Stop.
I don't see any way
He does
turns
not
good.
fuck with V. He wants Arlene, and Arlene had a kid with V. He hates this kid. He killed him twice. He choked him out. No. I reject.
Princess system.
Rejecto.
I mean, and if he was gonna turn good, why he even show us this data version to me? I mean, I've been wrong before, but why he show me this data version that would have been the closest thing to his quote unquote good version of himself? And he came and wiped all that shit out.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Fuck what you." He said, "Fuck what y'all talking about." He
Okay.
walked up in there and he said, "Oh, you still alive? What the hell? You trying to choke that nigga out again?"
I don't
No,
want.
what is up with people wanting this evil guy to turn good? Shit,
I
when
don't
they have.
know.
The curse of Togashi.
Oh my! I don't understand,
Right.
bro.
Almighty yo, reject dial. Like no, keep that. I don't want that. Keep that. As for the final
They
enemy,
gonna-
I think Haydon, I'm one of the administrators. Alright. Diabetes.
One of the administrators, the administrator on the 134th floor, just gonna be like, "Hey, yeah, I told y'all, I ain't
I
walking
literally
up
killed Bam before. I'm like, you know what? I changed my ways. Like, nah, bro. Like, he on the team coach. Yeah, I'll say like, no. I did. I think it's Arlene. The story she put in the pocket seems fishy as hell for some reason. She probably killed V. Oh my god, cause him killing himself. Maybe the spell, I guess. Okay, killing himself doesn't seem like something he'd do based on the few times we learned about him. And Arlene was about to do some wild shit with Bam, which is why Jahad killed him.
I won't. There's something interesting about that because I agree, and it's not like I disagree, but it's like I feel there's so much in there because we don't know the true or real story with them because that's what fucking I'm drawing a blank. Garam says, she was like, well, if he learned the true story, then he wouldn't even be ready or right. And it's like then you got to think about, all right, well, Edouard really fucked with that nigga V, but Edouard was cool going young Edouard, but then it's like, because things like, fuck that nigga, don't ever bring his name around me, the most disrespectful nigga I ever met in my life. But Gus Dang over here, like, he did some fucked up shit too, and it's like, okay, what's really going on? But he's like, oh, but Arlene, she cool or whatever. So it's like, I can see where they're coming from. Like, I definitely agree with it at the same time, like, but at the same time, there's other things that's like certain relationships they had. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Because we know Gus Dang ain't no fucking paragon of good. And then guys on it, he an asshole. He don't give a fuck. He like doing his own shit. And he already told Jahad and all those niggas, I'm bringing everybody down so we can start this shit again. So it's like, what is the truth behind that happening? Did the curse she have V do some other fucked up shit too?
Mm-hmm.
That's why Gus Dang has beef with him too. Because we already know why Jahad got beef, but like does that affect like why Gus Dang didn't like that nigga? Like I'm trying to figure it out. Because he fucked with Arlene. He would know the truth.
I just need I need more than fishy as hell, because reading this little exchange, I thought of a reason. Didn't my dude Korean Riddler have a spell that made you go crazy and kill yourself type beat? And we know Arlene was good with spells. Like link that. And then I go, okay, maybe you have something there. Like I don't know what to do with fishy as hell. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna argue for them.
Okay.
Even though, even though
because I did not get those vibes from Arlene's story. Like insanity, sure, but I didn't get like. Go ahead.
Yeah, even though I'm of the opinion that Arlene was not naturally crazy or always quote unquote bad, right? I'm gonna argue in favor for them because the whole fishy part goes in the line with Rachel's a compulsive liar, right? So we don't. And then on top of the biggest thing that I can argue for them is the fact that after Bam was told all of this, right? Urek, literally near the end of the arc, tells Bam, "Don't listen to what everybody's telling you. Just be you." Right?
Yeah.
So we could use that argument, or I should say that statement to kind of push the narrative that there's nothing saying that what Bam being fed, both from FUG, this ancient pocket, Rachel, so on and so forth, is even the truth to begin with. Because there's no way there. Well, from at least from Bam's point of view, there's no way to prove that, right? So we don't know if what we're being told is even the truth to begin with.
That's fair.
They all have their own agenda. They all have their own agendas.
Yes,
Like
exactly.
F.U.G is willing to do anything. Like I said earlier, they're willing to do anything to get rid of the people at the top. And Rachel, she had that moment where she was holding information over Bam's head just so she can get him to chase her again. So, you know, like he said, no idea if anything is true or not. And not like these particular people haven't lied before. The only person we don't know to have lied at this point is Garam. But she been gone for so long, so we don't know what's going on with her either. She been running
Yeah,
And
around.
she admitted some things too. She said he wasn't ready for
Right,
everything.
yeah.
exactly.
So if I could make, if I could not kill two birds with one stone, put my little plug in while making my little freaking Umineko joke, there is no red truth, right? Therefore, there is nothing here that 100% confirms what we're being fed is the truth. We don't know what's truth,
Uh,
what's lies, what's fabricated, what's mixed in with lies, so
the
on and so
devil
forth.
fruit.
Everything is everybody has their own agenda and everybody's trying to pull Bam every which way. So we can't rule out the possibility that that pocket that Arlene has is a fabrication. So Bam could see it and help push him towards her agenda and whatnot.
Okay.
And of course,
Yo.
that being said, I don't agree with any of that. I don't think freaking Arlene is that was bad from the jump. She was born bad, right? Right, but that's just to argue for their sake.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, well, Torian, what you think?
I don't even know what y'all was talking about. What's up?
Oh, I'm streaming. I'm talking about. I'm reading comments for Tower God right now. I'm reading comments. We're talking about Arlene being, I guess, a bad guy, the final villain in our Tower God.
Mm.
I gotta turn you down though. 1 second. You're mad loud in my ear. All right. I'll read the next one then. Actually, let me read the replies. Like in her madness. Oh wow. Like in her madness, she killed V and thought, "Oh no, who could have done this?" I can see it. Never underestimate a psycho. I agree. V killing himself seemed weird. Maybe it will make sense in context, but ever since I read that chapter, I either thought V faked his death and Arlene went along with the plan to keep him hidden, or that Arlene was the one to kill him. Garam did say she didn't tell Bam the real story. Well, the full story. I don't know what she said. Real story. It's certain that is significantly different from what we heard. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, I agree with Simeon on that point. She definitely wasn't born evil, as you can see. Jahad wasn't born. Edwan and fucking Jahad, from what we've seen from their young data forms, they weren't. Edwan wasn't a complete fucking monster as they make this nigga out to be. Because every time they talk about him in the present day, he's a fucking monster, and you can see from Jahad the clear, little looking in the fucking past mirror to the future, there's a distinct fucking difference. Even from the Genesis era, is like you look at that the Jahad from the Adventurer Jahad, then you look at the Genesis Jahad, then you look at the fucking King Jahad. You can literally clearly see those are like three different fucking people altogether. Like as it clear, like that journey changed them for quite a while, and then it's plus
Well,
all the shit they
living
go through.
living for that long changes you too.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
if you see
yeah.
anything where, like, if you see any like type of medium where people start living thousands of years, they just like become above humanity and to be above reality. Like if you just people that live that long, they just forget what it's like to be mortal, what it's like to be human.
and to
Sounds.
really feel.
I need
But
to. I need to
even
live.
just
I need to
Ginseng
live that
says,
long, man. I'm trying to get rid of these
Ginseng said something
emotions.
about that shit.
He
Oh
did.
God.
He did. All right, Piper Charms. I think he'll be the final human obstacle. Then I believe they will fight monsters up above the floor and even fight administrators, with maybe Hadon being the last boss. I also thought that maybe that couldn't be it, and the real reason no one has gone up to the floor above is Jahad. Is that an irregular needs to be sacrificed to go up, and that's why even the irregulars that is possibly in the same level or as powerful as Jahad, like Urek, did not do that as they did not want to sacrifice himself. And Bam's real final obstacle will be a conflict with himself, whether he has to stay the tower. Wait, stay in the tower. Hold on. Whether to stay in the tower with his friends or sacrifice himself for his friends to carry up on the tower. It feels. It just feels like to be given all this power only to realize that the power would only lead you and be there for you to die for everyone would be a cool storyline, and how Bam grapples with that idea that his purpose was to essentially die and his friends have to convince him that it wasn't not meaningless and that he should stay in the tower and not open the door, essentially becoming the same as Zurek. But is Bam the same? Dun dun dun. I guess where this kind of loses me is I feel like maybe Jahad withstanding. I feel like all the other incredibly powerful irregulars had their own reasons. Like Urek does not care about any of this. He wants to get out. He doesn't give a crat's ass about this. I had seen a comment before saying something about Urek chased Jahad into the tower. He chased Phantom Minim. You guys got that wrong. You got that wrong. Phantom Minim's an Axis. No one's stopping him for any reason in this fucking story. So stop that. Enryu just seems like he's moving different. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't say they all were like, whoa, sacrifice, nah, bro. And then like I don't. And that's like headcanon. I mean, this is all headcanon, but that's where this loses me. What about you guys?
I mean,
Honestly, I honestly think Bam is way too stupid to have that type of internal conflict within himself.
nigga say too stupid.
Yeah, honestly, seriously, like, as funny as that sounds, I'm being 100% dead ass. Because, like, look at the type of internal conflict we saw him have before. Oh, I'm lonely. Okay. We literally see this nigga freaking. We had a whole arc that's supposed to push the idea that Bam realizes that he doesn't necessarily care for everybody with Dang Dang's death, right? But that was no conflict. That nigga saw freaking Dang Dang die and he just kept it pushing. So I don't remotely think that Bam is a type of character where he's like, oh, I got all this and it might corrupt me, but what about my friend? No! He gonna take that shit. He not give a fuck about that. He don't give a fuck about burning 1,000,000,001 souls, pulling out a shield, and a dang bow and arrow out his ass. Why the hell would he start caring about that later?
Listen, all he gonna do is he gonna pull the fucking blue demon out his body and be like, you the regular part of me, and then he's gonna be like, I sacrifice you because I am me, and then it's gonna open and they gonna all go out the tower together.
I do like the idea of him having to kind of like have a real moment of sacrifice like that, but oh my god, Simi, I wasn't ready for that son. Oh wait,
Yeah, I'll just being honest with you.
hold on, there's a follow up. I also like the idea of Jahad not actually being the villain, and Bam and his friends are actually having to turn against all the people that want Jahad dead, and Bam essentially defying fate, saying no, he's not my enemy. So basically, all the oh my god, not this heel turn. Where did this originate? Who did it? Find me the person. Who said it first?
See, it's I keep telling you,
This nigga at the state.
I want words. Go ahead.
it's because of this whole Tower of God is about fighting fate. That's where that comes from. So I don't agree with none of that.
All right.
Yo, where is Siamese? Siamese, you need to be here right now. These are Jahad is your nigga, okay? Jahad. These
Hey.
are your niggas. I need you
He's
here,
not an
man.
enemy in the tower. It's want Jahad actually turning his Bam administrators hate on being the last enemy, and Bam actually working with Jahad to destroy the administrators so they will get out of the tower. I think it'll be fun with who were with Bam because they thought they would kill Jahad for them, turn against Bam and his friends. Also, want we reach the big end conflict for not all, but at least certain regulars to becoming rankers. It also lets Bam realize, oh, these people will work with me because they want to use me. It could be also fun to see Huavians reacting to Bam, refusing his destiny, not becoming her god. Ah, yeah, yeah. Where do I start?
You know what? I don't even. Uh, it's always the niggas with the villain heel turns that have the most ridiculous logic I've ever seen in my entire life.
Huavians
Why?
reacted. How you rocking the shit? Yeah, why are you not tripping?
Yeah, I'm not gonna
Right.
lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you, East. With
Mhm.
this story, it might not be that ridiculous. I'm being
You know,
dead ass with
you know what? I tried to be at the mindset like
anything.
Naya.
Anything is literally possible with this story. I shit.
I, you
Okay,
know,
can I ask? Can I
try to
ask
give
this
it a
question
chance,
then?
but
Because maybe my perspective is flipped. I feel like F.U.G is low key like the liberator of the tower. Like the media paints
Yes,
them as evil, but they're not that
yes,
they're the good guys, but they're like the revolutionary army. They're trying to overthrow it.
yes.
I
no,
mean,
no, no. Hold on,
That's
hold
the
on.
impression that I got. Is it okay?
For,
So
I
for,
mean, if we all just look at Jahad like the dictator he is, that's the logical conclusion that someone would come to, right? Like the organization that is directly opposing him, what I'm saying, and his family would be the people that are trying to liberate the tower from his oppression, like his, dictatorship. Most people can't see it as dictatorship because he's Jihad. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody sees the negatives.
yeah,
Like at least normal people can't see the broad scope of like what he's done.
yeah.
But like F.U.G can. Like we and the readers we can. You know what I'm saying? So we can see he's a bad guy. So I mean, I thought that was just a normal conclusion that anybody would come to.
yeah, because everything we know based off everything we've seen in the history that was laid out before us.
Yes.
And
Hello.
we
From
got a
what,
process to do.
no, from what from what we know, given it the story, fucking everything laid out is like, all right, bro. Jahad, they literally said, all right, after they made it to the top, and Jahad like pros Arlene reject that shit. He got mad. He just laid everything out. They ran away, and he started conquering the tower. He became the king, and they had to fight because he was a fuck one of them niggas. And like some of the family has, most of his family has sided with him, and he just laid his rule bare like across everything. Like nobody's fucking with them niggas. They own everything. He is the king. He rules this shit with an iron fist. What happens when the
Well,
orders go out?
I don't. I don't. Well, hold on. I don't know about Iron Fist because that nigga really be sweet. So
Well, see, now he can be sleep, right? But in the
he,
past, like that, he was on some
yeah.
shit like back in the past. Like in Genesis, he was pulling up on niggas himself, bro. Like that's
Yeah, that's my point. Like Genesis, he was like, all right, listen, like he was like having his force out there doing all types of shit. He was like, hey, listen, we gonna eradicate. He's like, listen, y'all sacrifice these niggas, give up this fight, or we gonna fucking crush y'all niggas. Or
Well, what we know from the old tower, right? Well, part of the thing is that I'm saying, at least for me, is that like I still have to get to this point because I gotta go reread it and see remember what it said exactly. But didn't they say that like each irregular brings something that the tower needs at the time?
yeah, they
The
said
So what
the
that.
if the
Yeah,
door
tower?
the
So what
door
if
only opens for something that it needs type beat.
yeah,
right? So
yeah.
what if it felt like with Jahad that the tower at the time it needed structure?
Which was
It needed
that's possible.
it needed somebody to control everything because it was too wild. It was the wild Badlands, the Batman
Hmm.
Badlands. And so he came in, he did that, and then it's just like, all right, he kind of crazy though. So we gotta bring him
All right.
See, the way he took control though, that's the odd part. Like the administrators gave him the opportunity to take control of the tower, so it's like,
Well, they like something about him.
Well, he
What
was
did they
ranked
like
number
about him?
one in the Greatest Adventurer, so he probably was mad popular at some point. So
and
that
and
doesn't
and, you,
shock me to some degree.
and well, you know what? Because he just built different, okay? Because first of all, nigga got the fucking Shinsu quality of Cosmos. Nigga keep
wait, that's his
pulling
quality?
out
No,
shit
that's the move that
from
he
the
used. I
mist.
don't know
I
why.
was about to
I don't
say,
know
I was
why.
about to
I don't
say,
know
hold
why.
on.
I don't know why. I don't know why you did that. It confused all my viewers. Stop.
Oh,
I was like, yo,
We don't know
okay,
what a Shinsu quality is. He
okay,
never
well,
told us.
all right. Well, the move he used is Cosmos, shit from Mystery Island, the fucking tools he has from God knows where. Like eh, this nigga just begin like praised, don't praise him, be praised and stuff like that. Like I'm pretty sure he like the rest of the niggas followed him. Like, what was it? Who was it? What's that nigga name? White Dad, Hall Quinn.
All right, huh?
All
RDA,
right,
huh?
yeah. That nigga kept
Wait,
challenging him. He kept losing every
RDA.
time in a single fight.
Another one.
It's like this nigga was. I guess this nigga was just that. Like Vince said, he was just that astonishing. But that's the thing: when you get into power, plenty of people go corrupt when they get power.
Facts.
It's just a common story in
Alright.
real life all the time.
Alright, let's move on. Childish do Jabez. No, I don't think so. My money is on someone past 135th floor. They created the tower, maybe. Fair enough. Jahad will be the boss before the actual boss, which is probably whatever's on the other floors that we haven't seen yet. But I can't think of why someone. Wait, think of why someone so adventure loving like Jahad would just stop. If not, dude, he's sad, man. He got heartbroken. She. If not that, then probably Rachel, for pretty obvious reasons. This is my line of thinking. I'm a Rachel. What's that? Fireworks or guns? Fireworks. King Nelly Boy, my guy. I feel like Jahad is one of the best cases of how to hype up your final line tag. So it'd be cool if SIU follows through and lives up to the hype. If someone else was the true final villain all along, I wouldn't hate it, but he really got to go in for it to hit the same.
I think the only one that worked for me, it would be Hedon, because I guess he has enough to be right there, and then not like fully like, aha, I was really being like, because it's kind of like we don't know what he's really about, but
Well,
you can make speculations like how he's tied, but like at the same time, it's like I guess I can accept him. I'd rather be Jahad, but if I had no choice and I had to bite the bullet, I'd take Hedon. I could accept it and keep it rolling.
I've seen more like, at least from my perspective, where I've seen like theories about him, being like a villain and all that. But it seems more to me that he's still, regardless of, he's still on the tower side overall. You know what I mean? So that would make me lead me to believe that he's more in line with F.U.G's motives. Either we don't have to finer details and like that, but that's kind of how I felt about it. I don't know. I just don't know where the whole how he would turn into.
Tori, there was an earlier comment that basically said that they feel like Hayden would be the ultimate final obstacle, but not in an antagonist sense. More like, okay, if you really want this wish, here's the final test, and it's him. More like
okay,
that.
just
Not necessarily aha, I wanted the wish all along, and not necessarily like that. So
I was like, huh? Yeah, because that just never struck me like how Heaton was. You know what I'm saying? Because it seems like if he wants to accomplish something, he can get it done. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
So like I said, I don't know how to say it, but has Jahad been living up to that final antagonist? We all know. To me, it's always been Rachel. And in my head, it's always been Rachel. Like Big Deck said here, I think it's Rachel. So that's what I think.
I mean, I like anytime Jahad talk. I'm not gonna lie. The best thing out of season 3 for me is when he had the whole speech. Nigga said,
I'm the greatest fisherman in the tower.
Once he just started flexing for himself.
Then he brought 80. Actually, the one needle of Mystery Island, I think I brought 40. I said, yo.
Bro, anytime somebody pull up list in their feeds, it's over, bro. That man said, look. Nah, he's
that
so.
That reminded me of almost. Oh, let me not say that because we didn't watch it. Never mind. All right, Baylor Yama. Feel like you always kill me because you have a picture of Yas Rasha and your name Baylor Yama, and I love it. I feel like the comments are overthinking because Jahad locked off the tower. I think Jahad is the final big bad. I respect it. David said Jahad and or Rachel. I could see them teaming up in desperation.
Desperation.
I wish you went more in depth into that. I would need you to paint me a picture. Hold on. I guess maybe they're both just losing. Like I can't stop this nigga, and they're like, hey.
Well, Jahad already knows. Technically, he said he sees fate. So he would know that he would lose. You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't he? Unless him being an irregular kind of blocks it.
Phantom Minim can't lose to anybody in Tower of God, and SIU already said that he will likely not appear again. So I'm gonna take your answer as Arlene. I'm gonna let this slide. This was bad. Don't do this again. It's not Phantom Minim. Let it slide.
I want to argue for that person though. I think I see their point of view.
Shut the fuck up.
No, not that nigga. I talk about the Rachel and Jahad.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Team up. Okay.
Yeah, I was like.
I thought you were talking about Phantom Minim. I thought you were trolling. I thought you were trolling. Go ahead.
Hell no. I had a good point, but you said something to Dex Hartman. But I think it's like what Torian's saying, desperation. Because if Bam is this unstoppable force supposed to be fighting his fate, like I already killed you once. What the fuck are you still doing back? But your heart can see fate, correct? And it's that okay now, and then he had to wake up to give the orders again. So it's like okay, well this motherfucker is coming. He's coming. Get more powerful. He has the I can't die, but he has the one thing that can possibly kill me. And Rachel, we don't know how she's tied to Arlene, but we know she's getting some type of big
Mm.
power up tying in with Gus Sting, and so it's like, listen, I know the truth about Bam too, and I need this motherfucker gone. He's standing between where my goals. I want him going. And Jahad's like, all right, the same in the same vein. Jahad's like, all right, you know what? I need this nigga going too. So I can see, and there's a lot of stuff we don't know about what Rachel's how Rachel gets to the end because we know she'll eventually get to the end of the tower. Whether she get the this is
They gonna
Spartan
carry.
kick
They
like I
gonna
was
carry
saying
her
or
there. What do
not.
you mean? They gonna
Yeah,
carry.
well, I
Starry
mean, hey,
sky,
she finna get the
baby.
glow up. She finna get the glow up. You know what I'm saying? That 10K pad like Pat was talking, but like you know what I'm saying, like I
The
can see
BBL.
yeah. So I think so. Like they're saying, like I can see a desperation attempt. Like yo, we join our whatever we got, our knowledge and this that, and the other, to work together to get this motherfucker down because they're both against Bam,
Hmm. Okay,
and he does have a way to kill Jahad.
I feel it. I mean, technically, oh, all right. I think Jahad is the safe. I think Jahad is safe answer. It'd be like Luffy beating Blackbeard before getting the One Piece. Do I agree with that comparison? I don't, but I hear what you're saying. Point still taken, but they're not the same character at all, or framed the same in my opinion. It'd be his final story opponent, but we still have Urek and getting out of the tower, climbing to the top, which I feel like Bam will do with his friends and possibly some of the 10 family heads and their entourages. The story may end with that, and we'll move on to some other TUS storyline, maybe get a dark continent type of reveal of the world in outer space, and with that, a bigger and badder villain. So I guess either Jahad and Ryu hate on the outside guard or Bam himself. Bam himself will be the final villain. This was an answer that I thought I would see a bit more often, to be honest. The Bam one. Not gonna touch on the TOS stuff because we already said that this nigga needs to finish Tower of God before he even thinks about expanding the universe. So I'm not gonna touch on that stuff. But any comments?
Now it's funny because we're getting to the point where Yeti actually doesn't want no more comments. He just wants to read all this shit and be done with it. You saw how he scrolled up? See how much he had left? You see how he don't even be responsible? He be saying he just be like, all right, moving on.
Listen,
But
I
anyways,
watch y'all thoughts. You just damn. I'm not.
Well,
I didn't realize how much there were. That's all. Keep going though. It's been 2 days though.
Okay, wait, real quick. So to answer that question, do we all think the third protagonist is Rachel?
no.
If I had to choose a third protagonist, I would choose Rachel. That's my best answer.
Because that would be a possibility to me
Maybe Aguero
if
actually.
if if we get a third protagonist, their perspective, and all of a sudden like we flip the shit around and now we're looking from a different perspective. They're just like, oh look, I gotta get rid of Bam because there could be some way that with Jahad manipulating fate and all that, that Bam turns into a monster since he's supposed to be the knight. So I don't know. Who knows?
I actually don't like that blue truth at all. Why do we need to get
Make it a
what?
red one. Don't play it. Don't play it.
Oh, he can't. Hey, if that's how you make it a fucking red one, then I will be one unhappy camper. But anyways, the reason why I say that is because why would getting out of the tower be a goal? What does it have to do with Bam?
Fair.
When has Bam's goal ever been getting out of the tower?
It hasn't.
Exactly. So I don't understand why that's constantly being brought up. That has nothing to do with him. Also, going further has nothing to do with him either. Going to floor 134, did he ever say or imply that he wants to go further, he wants to go beyond, or anything like that? He wants to keep exploring.
Mm.
So I don't see why those two points of contention are always brought up. Also, the whole
At least at this moment. At least at this moment. It could change, but yeah, you're right. As far as currently constructed, you're 100%.
and as far as the administrator on that floor is hostile. Listen, Just because it is lore that was revealed to us does not necessarily mean that it applies to our main character. That emission has absolutely nothing to do with Bam.
Yeah.
So who fucking cares if it's hostile or not?
For all
That don't
I
got nothing
know,
to do
he
with him.
sees Bam as like, yo, you're the prophecy type beat, and he's got good terms with him, so that's fair.
Yeah, so I actually don't agree
Mm-hmm.
with that theory at all.
Okay. They got the top of the tower that's past the 133rd floor. My guy, Impazu. You see, we French. The question is, when TOG? Wow. The question is when ends TOG at the top of the tower or at the end of the war between Jahad and Arlene Bam? I actually don't understand that. Hold on. The question is when I guess when TOG ends at the top of the tower or at the end of the war between I don't know, dude. I don't know. Did you guys understand that?
Yeah, what he's saying is, will the story end when we get to the top of the tower, or when the conflict between Jahad and Arlene slash V slash Bam is over?
You ask questions to my question. I asked you a question.
Yeah,
Jahad is the antagonist for the first 150, in my opinion. Okay, well, that seems to be a heat on. He must have some importance. I mean, I don't think I didn't must thought it was unimportant. He wants to come back a decade later and do more after he can. He does whatever he wants. I'd rather him focus on just making the current story, best it could possibly be and finish it. Yeah. Forget about the MCU. It's not happening. Just stop it. No, I think it's gonna be who or what is beyond the floor they stopped on. Maybe. I wonder if there's like more. Actually, no, that would make sense. More blue holes above Jihad. I don't think that makes sense. It could just be administrators.
Oh Lord, that'd be crazy. I don't. You know what? No,
I mean that. No,
I'm not gonna say.
Arlene is in the floor 134.
Well, I feel like it would be a waste not to have him be the final optical for Bam and his companions with all the build up and how the story portrays him. I mean, if he wasn't the bad guy, but the conflict against him was, satisfactory, I would move on. I'd be okay with it, personally speaking. I don't know about you guys, but just keep that in mind. And his companions with all the build up and portrays him. Although I do feel like they could go the route that Jahad is the first of many other big obstacles. Let's not forget that Jahad didn't technically finish climbing the towers. SIU could take it further and let Bam be the one leading everyone to the actual top of the tower in Jahad's place. In that sense, introducing new threats and obstacles similar to how The Promised Neverland handled their series, although in a much better fashion. I don't even know how Promised Neverland ended, so once he said, I'm trying to slay them demons, I didn't even get that far actually either. I didn't even get to that far. That's how far back I was. All right. East to West reviews. It's definitely something past the
East
last.
to West reviews.
Ah, shit. That's how you know. That's how you know. They got East to West in my head. East to West reviews is definitely something past the last floor. It might be an ancient power that couldn't be beaten, so they trap it, or maybe themselves. All the more reason to keep people like Bam and Urek away. So if they get powerful people, they keep it there? That's interesting.
I mean, like you said, seal immortality ain't the end all be all. You can seal motherfuckers away.
Mm-hmm. He will be
It's still strange. My fault.
Go ahead. Finish your thought.
No, it's just it keeps all. It always bugs me that they got their immortality was like floor 100. They said
400 is when Ariehan fought with Urek.
no, but I mean, Jahad and them were climbing the tower. They
134th floor is the last floor that they've been on, I think.
and I'm talking about when they got their immortality contract. Because
Oh,
wasn't it before they reached the top, or am I mistaken? Because I remember Hendo was the only one that didn't get his shit.
No, I don't think so, bro. I think they were just climbing. They got all that when they decided to conquer the tower. They started cutting deals, started wheeling and dealing.
yeah. It was after he got control of the 134 four floors. It wasn't after that. After the Great Journey. I'm pretty sure. All right.
Something that.
He will be the final antagonist because that's how
And it's both wrong. East is right. Yes, they gained their immortality on floor 100.
Oh, you did?
Okay.
Oh, shit.
There you go. Congratulations.
Okay.
I don't know that. What?
Thank you, Zah Emperor.
Of course, Mighty Prince.
Where did you see that?
The wiki.
Did it say what chapter or blog posts?
Um, let's see. No, it doesn't.
I could,
It
because
says,
the reason I remember that is because when we were talking about it, it was like, all right, well, how come certain people didn't have their immortality? And then we were talking, well, maybe they split during the trip because Hendo doesn't have it, but majority of the other ones have it. And then we talked about V and Arlene most likely didn't have immortality, but we know that they weren't always fucking with each other all together during the entire trip. So I think we talked, or y'all talked about it in the way back Chicken Love Club podcast a long time ago.
Oh, long time. That's why I gotta reread this shit, boy.
Yeah,
Mm.
I'm with you, Chris, because I'm a fake fan. Because I did not remember that shit. I felt like the 100 floors when I remember Ariane fighting Rek, and he's like, damn, I would have lost that shit. That's what I remember. All right.
that happened, but this also happened as well. It says, it's gonna be quick. After Zahard and the Great Warriors completed the test on this floor, they were granted immortality by the Guardian. However, Hendo Lock Blood Matter, one of the Great Warriors, was only granted conditional immortality.
He got
at the
a
expense of
fuck.
the-
He
Yup.
got fuck for life, baby.
And he got
At the expense of the short lives of his descendants.
That boy said his children was short lifespan so he could live. This shit's so funny to me. Meanwhile, Erdogan doing it for fun. All right, Urek Mazino. Urek Mazino. All right, he will be the final antagonist because that's how the entire story is built up. The Thorn to slay Jahad, Jahad killing his parents. F.U.G. main purpose is to kill Jahad using Baam. Anyone else feels too powerful for Baam, but if I have to pick one, it would be an administrator for making Baam the second person to slay an admin. Specifically, Hadon because he seems shady, or the 135th admin because the found test to beat one in order to descend out of the tower, which Jahad is incapable of. I mean, you did a little bit of assuming there at the end, but I hear you. Point well taken. All right, Michael says, I'm assuming that whatever the origin to Bam's power is, or the actual reason for the tower's existence, will play a role in whatever the final antagonist is. It could even end up being Hadon because I don't trust that bunny wannabe. Yo, they don't mess with Hadon, man. Arlena, what the fuck is on the floor locked away? Alright, fair enough. You're a fan of the TOS universe, then you would like to think that Jahad is just the first big bad. Of course, I know TOG will probably not leave the tower in its lore, but I like to imagine I'm leaving TOS stuff completely alone. Banger boy, Tori Jahad being capable of anything within the tower seems far-fetched to me. Yeah, you're not capable of anything, but a lot of things. This is new. Asha, what's poppin'? Jahad twice. I think he'll retreat once we get past the floor we locked on, but he'll hide and recover to find us again in the end. See, this I could get more behind. Not no we travel up together. See, I get behind this. They beat his ass, they take the key, unlock the shit, and he gonna recover in the rejuvenation tank and come back later. I can get behind that more. What about y'all?
Yeah, I like that. That freaking 2-part second form boss fight type shit on some fucking Dang, I forgot that nigga name for Mega Man X. Never mind, I can't even make the joke.
Bass?
Forget it. Absolutely not! Nigga, I'm not. You know what? Wow.
Wiley.
Sigma, there you go.
Oh,
He could be
Sigma.
on his Sigma gimmick.
Sigma was my next guess. All right. I got Jahad, Rachel, or Bam himself. Actually, I was going to say thing first. Pro the Manny X used to piss you off. Then I was going to say Sigma. I got Jahad, Rachel, or Bam himself. Bam might try to destroy the tower and become its final enemy.
Y'all got a lot of freaking confidence in Bam, man.
That's interesting.
I don't see that nigga doing nothing like that.
That's interesting. We're not done yet, by the way.
I mean, Korean MCs are overpowered.
If you guys have anything else you want to chime in on, that
That picture of Jahad is so good.
Yeah, it's cold.
That you have on your screen.
Yeah, I love that. I like that picture. I like that moment, and I love that move, the Mystery Island shit. So,
man, when are he gonna put that fit back on? Cause what he was wearing the other time, what was he thinking?
Is it adventure outfit?
No, that was so bad.
Pack.
Nigga thought he was in an RPG.
Hey man, We adventuring. We adventuring. It's adventure time. Okay, hold on.
That's why Arlene didn't want him. He didn't have no sauce. She was like, "What is this? What are you wearing?"
Hey, you see what V? You could kind of see what V was wearing, and it's better than fucking what that nigga Jahad had.
Like,
I'll
Jahad
just put
capable of
on
getting
anything
love
here
or
for
fathering a
stat.
child, keeping that Aaron Yeager type decision shit away from him. Alright, so here I asked it again on Twitter just so people will say. We got Ryan. I don't think he'll be the final villain since Tower of God and countless entities and clans predate Jahad and the families. I wouldn't be surprised. I think I'm stronger than him. I wouldn't be surprised if one of the ancient beasts tried to make a play for power in the wake of Bam's usurper warpath.
I could rock with that. That's the theory I like.
All right.
Shit.
You get this. You get the Simi cosign. You retweet. My guy Tien, him or Hidan. I can see Hidan being a black Zetsu type character and Zahad being the modder. Oh, he gonna get modder. I get Hidan thinking he's one and Zahad pulling an Eisner Yawatch from Bleach. All right.
We don't support the Chungus.
I mean, that's not impossible though. That's not impossible.
I always thought once Jahad is beaten, they will continue to climb the tower, and that there will be something even stronger than Jahad that made him stop climbing, other than the Guardian. Come in. Wallace Zolo. Jahad, there's way too much build up for it to be someone else. Baam will surpass Rachel and all that shit around her before he reaches Jahad. Okay. Kind of like how Blackbeard and the world government, not caught up, but it's my 2 cents. Use the other sense, not his money. After seeing Dad Jahad, I assume that's something. What is that noise?
What is one noise?
Something keeps stuttering.
Oh, that's East.
Yeah, mute yourself if you're not talking. Then that's just annoying me now. This has so many layers to it, filled with. Wait, I skipped one, didn't I? By Tokyo Tron. After seeing that Jahad, I assume that something or someone corrupted him, and that would be the final villain. Wait, corrupted Data Jahad?
Oh my god, more Data Jahad again?
Wait, after seeing Data Jahad, I assumed that something or someone corrupted him, and that would be the. Maybe he's saying it's still Jahad.
Okay, yeah. No, he's saying that there's someone behind the scenes that fucked up Jahad and might be final villain. Oh, okay. He fucked himself over.
What Simi's at? Simi's at is Saber Kaniku. I'll pull up for you in a second. It's usually in a lot of my description. Actually, I can just type it in. Hold on. Saber.
I got it. Don't worry about it. Keep going.
Okay.
You're dead just like my dreams.
This has so many layers to it, filled with a lot of what ifs, most of which have to do with SIU's intentions for the story rather than the characters themselves. How long will Jahad be king? Will he be around after he is dethroned? Will Bam have to confront him prior to ascending past the... Whoa, he said 134 Glam. Don't remember the numbers of the final floor forces more powerful than Jahad that SIU introduced to pad out the story. Are NU and Pentaminium... No, no, Fanta. Stop. There is going to be some bullshit twist where V was the one who cast Bam out instead. Don't think you can really say the story leans toward Jahad at this point. 50-50 best in my opinion. I agree with that. I agree with his final takeaway though. 100%. Glamourino. Who's this Twilight East guy? I don't know who this is. Hold on. Nah, there's two. He used the wrong two. Much setup for Jahad and the tag rate bums and etc. for them not to be the final boss, especially given the fact that that like you said, he cannot create an entire universe beyond the tower physically. He's not built. He's not. We're not getting the MCU at all. I spelled it wrong. I did.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. No, I didn't. Yeah, I did actually. Fuck.
You did.
My fault.
Yeah, he did. Okay.
Come in, I quote tweets, right? Yes, I did.
Yeah, 6.
Okay, I think Rachel is a true daughter of Jahad. That's why she has similar features to Wagdan, and obviously knows something about Bam we don't. True daughter of Jahad. Don't know if I agree with that part, but I can get behind Rachel. Go ahead.
No, I'm just trying to... Because I'm trying to fucking figure out how every other bitch got a taste, a smidgen of his blood, and the raw built different. Anak just got a half breed, and she extremely built different. And Rachel's supposed to be a pure blood, and fuck that, she ugly. I'm just trying to fathom it because you know
He didn't give her the adventure gear.
He needed the cape.
Yeah. She don't have the
Either
clothes
him
to
or
quit.
Rachel are the strongest candidates. My guy Corey, 100% agree. Blobbeard, either Jahad or Haydon. Feel it. Red Eyes, Black Man. Red Eyes, Black Dragon. I like that. I feel like it would be Jahad, but I feel like potentially it could be Rachel or someone else depending on Bam and his parents' backstory and history with Jahad is explained more. There we go. Get more Rachel. I like this. That's what I want. I think it's going to be him, Rachel, or the real God of the Tower. Who the real God?
Name.
Whomst. Oh, this got a comment. Hold on. The God of the damn series, Phantom Minute, the one beat him. Oh. Alright. And who's this guy? This Porsche Sports guy? It's probably a terrible comment, you know. Probably stupid as hell. The final antagonist is going to be Rachel. I promise you that. The first three characters we started with will be the ones that we end the journey with. Terrible take. Don't agree with it. Even though I just said Rachel like 8 times. This guy clearly doesn't know what he's talking about. Get him. I'm joking. My guy Pat's been. That's the last comment, guys. I mean, has anyone's opinion been swayed to anything after reading any of this, or you kind of stick with what you said at the beginning and you'll stick to your guns?
Like I said, I'm Rachel, the new perspective, but I'm open to Hedon. Rachel or Hedon, but I still Jahad. But the other two can work, especially Rachel. She can still work as like a more moral type of thing, overcoming that last hurdle for like a more personal thing. Because Jahad's kind of like a destiny, fate type of beat. So yeah,
I'm sticking to my guns because I still don't see TOG as a fight against your fate fucking story.
So what do you see it as then? Actually, just out of curiosity, what would you call it?
Shit, man. Shit, actually, Could I say it's actually like a fantasy coming of age?
That's not entirely crazy. It's not crazy to call that because Bam is coming of age. It's a fantasy series, so you wouldn't be wrong. I'm just saying.
Siamese finna come out the woodwork now.